Hello.
Hey, Kathy.
Hey,
Were you on your regular one or is this Casey's?
it's my regular one.
Okay, all right. I was making sure. I'm on
Mm.
mute.
Oh, okay. All right, all right. Welcome everyone. It's 9 o'clock, power hour. Happy birthday, Joanne. Hope you had a great day. Good to see everybody
Happy
out.
birthday, Joanne.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Joanne.
Thank you.
Birthday
It's kind of hard
to
to have
you.
a great day when you can't go any place and do anything. You can't even go out to eat.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Yes, we appreciate that. Yeah, it's been crazy, huh? So yeah, thanks for unplugging from the news and plugging into your business tonight. It's great seeing all your smiling faces. So tonight I'm going to cover uh, edification. You know, it might be old news for some of you guys, but it would help to be covered again. Edification and event etiquette. And I will start, I guess, by sharing my screen here. Let's see. Bear with me. This is not my norm. Okay, are you seeing that or no? Are y'all see? Can you see my screen? Yes? Okay. Awesome. All right. Edification training and event etiquette. We'll start with edification. The objective for that is to building up the credibility of your upline expert to give your prospect a reason why they should listen. To the definition, to give value to someone or something. Edification is a necessary skill that you have to learn. And edify means to amplify the good in others. Edify doesn't mean lying or fabricating false attributes. You know, it's something that we do. You know, Casey and Team Fusion and the Jade Factory have all trained us to do edification. But sometimes we get in a hurry and we might just say, oh, you know, let me let you talk to Casey. He's my guy. He knows everything. So if we can get a little bit better at it, the value of edifying, the edification process creates respect for the person that is going to assist you in your business. Edify a third person to present the opportunity to your guests. Your friends trust you, they trust in you, but they may not respect you as an expert. I mean, really, how many of you are an looked upon as your, from your friends as an expert in health and wellness. Maybe out of everybody on our call tonight, maybe, I don't know, if that's your field, that's one thing, but me sitting in a cubicle all day, I would certainly not be your expert on health and wellness. So, now finance, that's a different story. So, you want to edify that person because you can get them to to listen maybe, but just to pique their interest. But when it comes to getting them to the expert, you just edify that person and pass them on. If you learn how to edify properly, you can increase their influence and their decision to enroll. Proper edification, speak about his or her past and present success and their future vision. Always relate or find a common ground between a prospect and the person you're going to edify. If you're talking to somebody that is retired, you wouldn't want to focus on the part that, Casey is, a project manager working, and all the work that he does. You would want to focus on the fact that, he got his wife retired and, she was a teacher. You kind of find some common interest, or they might have real estate. Well, Casey has real estate, so you kind of find some common ground there. Every time somebody edifies you, you should edify them in return, reverse edification. So like if you introduce, say you're introducing somebody to Casey, and you'll see this on your three-way messages. When you're introducing Casey to your guest, a lot of times you'll say, hey, Susie, this is Casey Salgi. This is the man I told you about. He's, been on a couple of magazine covers, blah, blah, blah. And you'll notice Casey always says, oh, thank you so much for that great introduction. And he'll say something like, Kathy's been doing an amazing job in this business. She's already, made it to whatever level or something. Something to give back. And always use, and especially in person, when you're introducing somebody, and or say they're introducing you, when you go up onto the stage, then you definitely would say, thank you for that great introduction. Oh my gosh, and then you say something about that person that just introduced you. Use emotion and enthusiasm when you edify. Add, I always joke about, something to build your heart rate up before you get up there to speak, or, if you're doing it live, then definitely show some enthusiasm, some excitement, and what they're doing. Oh my gosh, he's made $2 million already in this industry. Whatever it is, be excited about it, because it's pretty awesome. What to edify? You can edify so many things. It's not just a person. It can be, the company. We have an amazing company. The owners, your leader, other leaders, your people, your team, the products, our system, the Jade Factory system, the events, trainings, presentations, videos. Shoot, you can edify our city. Houston's blowing it up right now. Whatever. You hear Miles do it all the time, talking about Dallas and everything that they've done in Dallas. If y'all would like to join in and do some edification role play, unmute yourself. Edify someone you know very well. Anyone game? to throw some?
I didn't hear the question, Kathy. What was your question, babe?
Would you like to role play, edify somebody that you know very well? Or pick one of these. Someone that you don't know, someone that you're creating urgency with, someone that's on a three-way call, or edify and introduce the next speaker, edify the company. Pick one. Anyone want to do one?
I'll role play with you.
Okay.
I have a ton of, it's been crazy at my house, y'all, trying to contain a 3.5-year-old with all this crap going on. So I have to move into my room. So, yeah. I need Jesus to take the wheel and breathe.
Oh, wow.
All right. I'm locked in my one cave. What's the deal? Let's go.
There you go. And yes, and I would say Amanda, holy cow. Now she would be one that already is probably a little more savvy in the health and wellness than, say, me that's working in a cubicle. But when I mentioned that earlier, it's like, okay, I can see, yeah, she looks pretty healthy. She probably knows a little bit. Anyways.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, I'm basically unemployed right now besides my job. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'll be right out. See, I have to like lock my doors and hide. But like working behind a computer as much as I have been and not teaching my classes the way that I have been, I don't know how people do it like all day long working at a computer with your shoulders crunched up and sitting in a chair and staring at a screen. I would go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Absolutely. What do you want to give one of these a try?
What do we want?
How about?
Which?
Yeah, pick one. You're cutting
Let's
out.
do the hard one. Like, well, I don't know. That's fine.
Which one?
Hello?
Yeah, you cut out.
I can't hear you. I said you can pick one. We do whichever one you think. Which one do you want to do?
Okay, let's do.
And are you going to be the person and I'm?
Well, yeah, just introduce. Okay, just introduce
Let's
me.
do someone you know very well because that's the hardest one. I think. Well, no, actually, someone you don't know at all. But actually, I don't know. Whichever one.
Well, it's just okay. Edify Joanne.
Edify Joanne.
Yeah.
Someone that I know. Oh Lord have mercy. Okay. Like this is like, you mean if I'm connecting her with the three-wall, how like basically how would I introduce her?
Yes.
Okay. I would connect the person that I have been having a conversation with and ask for permission to connect somebody or connect them with a person that has way more educated answers than I do. So my three-way text would be taking a person, say Marcus, and putting them on a three-way text. So creating a post or a messenger group with Marcus and Joanne. And I would basically just say something along the lines of, hey, Marcus, this is my friend Joanne that we have been talking about. She absolutely has all of way more educated answers than I do about what we have going on. But if you're very serious about the issues that we have talked about, she's going to be the person to talk to you and can answer all of your questions. And then I go into another paragraph and I say, okay, Joanne, hi, this is my friend Marcus, and he is interested in knowing what we have going on. Can you please explain to him what we are doing? But in her paragraph, I would say something too along the lines of she owns her own business and is committed to help thousands and thousands of people, living a healthy lifestyle from the inside out.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, connecting the two and seeing what Marcus is looking for and what Joanne has. That's one of the things. So you mentioned, that Joanne, business owner and has this mindset of, helping people and, giving back. And so that was probably what tied you to him, where you thought that would connect the two. Another thing, Joanne always has her, she talks about different testimonials that she's got for herself, her family, and stuff like that. So if you had somebody that was, suffering with arthritis or, different issues, you could say, you could connect them with that as one of your
Yeah,
things.
if they have a specific issue if they have a specific issue that brought us to the conversation about my business, about like if I continuous to see like a post about my neck, my back, or thyroid, whatever it is, then I just kind of ease into it. And in the description somewhere, like more than likely whenever I'm introducing, like, say, Marcus or Joanne to Marcus, hey, Joanne, this is Marcus. He is dealing with this, this, and this. And I think that if you can please explain to him, I always kind of put it like to the third party that takes me out of the selling equation.
Exactly. Okay, very good. Very good. Thank you for participating.
You're welcome. I'm crazy, girl, but I got you. It's just my house is nuts right now.
Well, prayers for everybody that's having to deal with all the craziness right now. That we're just going to get everybody out of it for the next few minutes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's it on etiquette and on edification. But now on event etiquette, and when I set up this power hours when we were about to, it was a week out from our next big event, which is the 26th, and that was going to be an event at a location. Since that's changed, but I'm still covering it because it's very important, and we will have more events. And so I wanted to go over event etiquette, and what I mean by that is just the before, during, and after of the event. What do we need to do? We do a fantastic job, but I think if everybody were on the same page and if we had more information, we could really be a well-oiled machine, right? So before the event, come early if you can to help with setting up. Find out who on your team have confirmed guests. You want to know who's coming, how many people are they going to have. Be informed. Get to know the guest. Mix and mingle, but don't spill the popcorn. So what I mean by that is get to know the guest. I mean, whoever's guest they are, get out there and talk to the guest and find out about them. Where do they work? How do they know, Terry or whoever brought them? Just have conversations about them, and don't tell them what all they're about to see. That's not the purpose of getting to know the people. Be cognizant of everyone around you. Their leader or their person that invited them may be in a different room, or they may be new. Okay, so some new people aren't sure about this. How what we're doing, what we're how to do the before the meeting, and so be that person for them. Help them out with their guest. Have those conversations with them, and make everybody in the room feel like they're in the right place and that they're welcome. During the event, pay attention. Your guests are watching. So don't be looking around, waiting on, seeing who else coming in, or, pay attention to the speaker. Turn your cell phone off or silent or off if you can. And if you have to take a call, I know some, there are some out there that have kids or some, parent or something that you need to have your phone on for. I understand it. Just keep it on silent. And if you must take the call, step away, outside of the room. Take notes, even if you could recite what's being said. Be interested in the speaker. Have a notepad. You can jot down something that you can use and use later, or something that you see that your guest is intrigued with. You might just take notes. And do not talk. You're supposed to be focused on the speaker. Be just as interested, just like if you were pulling up a chair next to them and watching a movie, for the first time. Like I said, you might be able to recite it, but take notes anyway. Act interested. After the event, stand up, applaud the speaker, right? Sit back down. Sit back down with your guest, and then ask your guest, what did they like most? Visit with them about what they liked, and it's what did you like most? And they tell you something. Oh, really? Yeah, I like that too. That's fantastic. What else did you like? Just have a conversation with them and be prepared. Expect them to enroll. So make sure you expect them to enroll right then. So have your device ready. If you're doing it with your phone, if you've got your iPad with you, whatever means you've got, expect them to enroll right then. If you want to do it on one of those papers like David and Tara passed out at the last event, that's fine too. Go ahead and get all the information. You can jot it down real quick, and then you can go home right afterwards and you can have them signed up as a customer or a business partner just that quick, just that evening. After you see your guests out of the room, go ahead and walk them to the door, send them on their way. Help with the tear down and clean up. And if you don't know what to do, just ask somebody. Somebody will know. And if they don't need help, they'll send you out. But just, don't take off without trying to help with something. I hated doing this, but see you at the next event. Okay, we're going virtual, guys. We will not be at the Houston Post Oak on the 26th. It's going to be an online experience. Okay, so I thought, since we're doing online now, and we might be doing it for a while, who knows? I thought we could cover some proper etiquette for online. So have your guests log in about 10 minutes early, because they may not be Zoom savvy. They may not have a clue and have, what is Zoom? You've heard some of that lately. What is Zoom? So with those, if they log in 10 minutes early, they'll have time to download whatever they need to download, right? And then share online etiquette with your guest prior to the event. So you can tell them, okay, hey, we're going to have this meeting. It's an online meeting. Log in 10 minutes early. Mute yourself when you log in. There's a little button where you can do that. If possible, leave your video on, because it's just polite. So that way the speaker has somebody to talk to, knows that there's something other than just a name up there. And save your questions till the end, or send them in the chat. It's best to take notes and then ask all the questions at the end. Especially, I guess, Casey was talking about creating a Zoom experience that it seems like it's live, but it's really not. What they used to say, is it live or is it Memorex? I'm dating myself. But no, so if you had something like that, then you've already prepared them where they know to save the questions till the end. And then, the speaker might say something like, okay, I know you had, probably had some questions. We're going to go ahead and, finish the meeting for now. But if you could just go ahead and get with the person that invited you to watch this and send them your questions. And then you would connect them with, a three-way with Casey or whoever, or your upline. Okay, same as a live event and the meeting after a meeting. Visit with your guest after the online experience. What did you like best? What else? And then set up the three-way messenger to answer any additional questions. Introduce and edify. Make sure we're edifying who we're connecting them to, and follow up. And for this VIP online experience that I'm talking about is actually on, stay tuned on the Jade Factory and Connie local for any upcoming Zoom presentations. But the one that we were having that's replacing the Hilton Post Oak is, it's going to be on the 26th, the same day, at the same time, 7:30 is when the Zoom is going to begin, and it's going to be Miles Stallard. So, he's already earned a couple $1 million in this industry. He's not even 30 years old. Those are some of the things you can say about him. He's, just, great energy and family guy, and you could say a million things about him. Great, fantastic guy. So you want everybody to be there and virtually. All right, covered a lot of stuff. Y'all have any questions or comments?
Hey, Kathy, it's Brian. Can I ask a question real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. Some of you may or may not know, David and Tara were the ones that brought me into the business. So if I have anyone saying they are interested or needing to get some questions cleared up that I can't, then I can just shoot it in their direction, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Any of your upline, whoever you choose, and depending on what, what they might have in common too. If you see something that any of us have, like I mentioned with Joanne, with the arthritis and that sort of thing. If it's something business related, definitely David and Tara. Oh my gosh, they're just doing amazing things, and and they're customer gathering machines. So, yeah. So, and whoever you're comfortable with connecting, David and Tara brought you on, like Terry Carter here was brought into the business by Claire, and and Claire's a sapphire in the organization, and so he might have something that he knows that this person would really connect with Claire, and so he might just connect them to Claire and not have to go up to Casey or somebody else. So it's kind of who you're working with in your organization, and it could be you. You could be the person that somebody would connect someone with. If they felt like you had something in a common interest in the person that they were trying to bring into the organization, they might say, hey, you know, I'd like to introduce you to Brian. He's doing amazing things with this industry, you know, while working full time, or, you know, I don't know your story, but, you know, you could be the person that's being edified for sure. So.
Thanks. I appreciate the clarification there.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, do you feel comfortable with the whole edification process?
I'm kind of, best way to put it is sometimes it takes me more than once, you know, listening or reading something to try to fully understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's,
so
I may have to go back and rewatch this, or just, you know, look at the slides again and try to get try to get clarification and understanding.
Okay, and I can put the slides out there too for everybody. So, you know, that's no problem. I'll put that on the local. Yeah,
Okay.
so, you know, so really it's all about when you're listening to your prospect, and, you know, there's certain key things that you might, you know, tune into and say, wow, you know, that reminds me of that, you know, that lady that owns her own place in Old Town Spring. You know, and maybe, you know, she could talk to her about, you know, what she's doing. And then you'd reach out to the person that you're going to connect them with first. Like that would be Michelle. Michelle owns a shop in Old Town Spring. So you'd reach out to that person first and say, hey, would you mind if you know, talking to this lady that I met, you know, she's got a shop in Tomball, and she was wondering how you're doing with your, you know, how do you display your products? What do you do? You know, that's something, you know, you might not have a clue how all that's done because you're not in that field, but Michelle is, and Michelle would be a perfect person to connect with. So then you would introduce her. You know, Michelle is doing an outstanding job of gathering customers and talking to everybody that comes through her shop. I mean, they may come in for paint, but they walk out and they're healthy. You know, it's so you know, so getting to know, you know, and being on Power Hour, you're always on Power Hour, and getting to know all of us, and hearing people's stories and things about them, you can connect your people with any of us. So, you know, if you feel like they would mesh more with somebody other than David and Tara, it's perfectly okay. So.
Okay, I just don't want to totally, step on anybody's toes and go out of my normal line of communication, through my chain.
Right. Absolutely. If they're business minded, if it's all about the business, then David and Tara are definitely the ones to go to. But you know, if you and you might start with them, and if you see that it's not getting, you know, the direction that you wanted it to go, because they might have more of a fit with somebody else, then you can mention that to whoever, David or Tara, depending on who it is, and say, what do you think about, you know, letting them talk to, you know, Michelle, since they both own shops? And then, you know, they'll probably say, absolutely, yeah, give it a try. So,
okay.
So the key thing with anything is keeping the lines of communication open. Talk to, you know, tell people what you're thinking. Tell them, you know, as far as your team, you know, and your leaders, talk to them, tell them what you're thinking. You know, I think that this person would really connect with, you know, with my guy. What do you think? Okay. Nobody's going to get, you know, as long as you're open and honest, nobody's gonna get stepped on.
Okay. That works. Thanks, Kathy.
All right, no problem. Anytime.
Can I say something, Kathy?
Absolutely.
I think if you can get really, really good at the edification of others and passing people, you will do so good at this business because we're not the experts. You know, if you can pass them to somebody else, just edify them like crazy, not to the point to where it sounds corny or anything like that, but just they know what they're talking about, and be able to pass them. You will do so good, Brian. And really and truly, there is not a person in the Jade Factory that you couldn't call that wouldn't talk to somebody for you. So just and really there's no stepping on toes here. Everybody, we're all here to help each other and to work with each other. So don't feel like you're stepping on toes or anything like that, because I know David and Tara, they would I've passed people to them, and they're not in my upline or anything like that. So just
Right.
whoever they can connect with, definitely try to pass them to the person that they're going to connect with the most. Even when I'm trying to pass them to like David or Casey, like if they're kind of like in a corporate job or like like an office job, I'll tend to connect them with Casey. But people that are like first responders or police, like military, things like that, I would go to David Daniel. So because I think that they would have more of a connection that way. So, and you might want to think about that too, who would they identify with a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But if you could get good at that, you are going to do so good.
Right. Yeah. Because really, and that's one of the first screens, saying how you're not the expert. To your friends and your friends' eyes, you may feel like the expert. It's like, okay, I've done this for a little while, and I've learned this, and I've learned that. But they know, and I'll talk about myself, they know me as, the person that's behind the computer and talking to people all day about, financing their cars. What do I know about health and wellness? So even though I do, because I've learned so much from this, but and even if you know the answer, you don't say the answer. You pass those people to the expert. So yeah, great stuff, Michelle. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anything? Anything on event etiquette? Any questions or comments there, and or suggestions? All right, guys, you are making this. You're gonna make us end this real short, real quick here. Oh, we got, and David Jones is on our call here. David could have answered that too. Maybe he's just plugged in and busy.
Speak of the devil. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. Hey, we were just talking about you.
I heard a little bit of it. I just got on. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. No, we were talking to Brian about edifying different people. Like if you were in a three-way message, and he's he knows how to edify you guys and connect people to you and Tara. But we were talking about finding people that have a common something in common. Like say if he happened to know somebody that owned a shop in Old Tomball, and wouldn't it be smart for him to edify Michelle, who owns a shop in Old Town Spring, and, connect those two and say, Michelle is doing an amazing job. Everybody that comes in for paint ends up walking out with supplements. She's, just a customer gathering machine in Old Town Spring. I think it'd be great if y'all talk to each other or whatever. And he didn't want to, Brian had mentioned he wouldn't want to step on anyone's toes. And Michelle and I were just saying how we're all the Jade Factory and we all help each other. So, and it might be, it's a different step too. It might be that they first talk to you and you and Tara about the business or whatever, and then an offshoot, you might send them to Michelle and say, you know what, let's talk to Michelle because I didn't realize you had this shop in Tomball. Michelle has got a shop in Old Town Spring, and it might just come up that way. So anyways, or,
Just making some type of a connection.
connections, exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, whoever that person thinks they'll go best with, forward them on. But if we're following the steps correctly and we're having the forming conversation,
Right.
it really should. I mean, that matters. But if that person has said, I want to fix that, I think that at that point, it doesn't matter who they speak to. It's just the upper line of you passing the ball and getting them to talk to somebody else and or passing them the information. If you solidified and did your part, like Brian has said to me majorly, that if he's the most important piece. If he does his piece first, the rest is history. So absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Good deal. Thank you. Well, I think I've covered everything. We've got, no? Terry shake his head, nope.
No, I just want to say, I mean, from my standpoint, I used to send everybody to Casey, and I still send a lot of people to Casey, but I've got legitimately, I can look around just our organization here locally, and there are at least 10 or 12 people that I can send people to at any time.
Right.
David and Tara are phenomenal. Jake and Candace, Claire, you, Kathy. I mean, they're just David. There's just so many other people out there. And everybody's busy. So it actually kind of helps the system if we can find maybe 3 or 4 or 5 people to work with. And I'll just share a little story that I had a chance to witness probably, 25 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. It was a story that I heard when I was at a hotel in, where was it? I think it was in Las Vegas. And we had gone to an event, and the most important guy, who was the keynote speaker, was coming in to speak at the event. And he was about 5'5", a little guy, not very imposing or anything. And what I found was the people that he had worked with in the MLM were all like 6 foot, 6'2", 6'4". And this one guy was one of his leaders, who was about 6'6". And when this guy got there, the biggest guy in the room stood up and was holding the door for him to get out of his car. And everybody else was back by the other doors in the building, and they all opened doors when he said, "Hey, the big man's here. Well, now we can put the show on." And everybody else just knew that was like their call to attention to get busy. And that was like the most ultimate edification that I've ever run into, because everybody was like a military salute when this little short guy came walking in the room. Some of you probably heard of him. His name's Dexter, but he was something special. But there are a lot of us that are that special in this room or on this conversation. And it's just a matter of time before we're all walking across stage of that pin position that we're really after. And edification is definitely a way to get there.
Thank you, Terry. Very good. Terry's pretty awesome. I know he put it out there last week, but he put this together for us for in Old Town Spring this past weekend. We were, talking to people about their immune system, you know, because everybody's scared and, you know, not knowing, you know, what to do or whatever. And this was just like, and it was so perfect because it's like a newspaper clip, the way that he's got it on the, you know, just drawn up and everything. And all you have to do is put your number right there, and you know, he put it out there on local, so you can have it, use it, or whatever, and share that with, you know, share it with your neighbors, share it with anybody, and you know, give them your card, let them read about it. It covers everything. It's got, you know, it does have the protein nutritionals. He's got Explore 90,000 personal testimonies about Kyani products. He talks specifically about the sunrise and the 22 superfoods, 10 vitamins, 74 minerals, you know, what it does, you know, supports your immune system. People are looking at that right now. And Dr. Andreas said it today, I think, in one of his things, that, you know, you're not hearing that out. The news media is not saying that, and they should be, you know, looking for ways to support your immune system. You know, but he's got the details of, you know, sunrise, sunset, nitro. It's straight from, you know, the product knowledge. And then down at the bottom, it also has Kyani caring hands, just talking points, you know, where they might ask, you know, what's this caring hands? And it ships to 60 plus countries. And he's also got potato pack donations. So, you know, everything's covered in there. And an amazing job. So if you need that and haven't seen it, you can scroll back on Connie Local, or he can repost that out there for you guys, because it's a super awesome sheet. What else? Anything? Anyone else have anything? Anything?
What's the word?
Madness.
What's the word on, I'm sorry, Kathy. What's the word on Vegas? Have we heard anything on Vegas?
We have not, but right now, all the everything's closed in Vegas until what, April 23rd or something. No, I don't know.
It's going to be
He
closed.
said 30 days. For 30 days, it was going to be closed.
Yeah.
That's scary for Vegas, I can tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so no, for now we don't have any information on that. But you know, our most recent event is, you know, the 26th. It's gone virtual online experience, VIP, with our very own Miles Stallard. Yeah, and you know, he can bring it if y'all just get the people on the call. And it'll be 7:30 on the 26th. Zoom. And watch for that on Kyani Local and the Jade Factory. Casey will have it out there.
Awesome.
And yeah, just share with people, share with your neighbors. One of the things that I did this week, and my team already knows, you know, the elderly people that I have on my street. I live on a cul-de-sac, and you know, I've always worked. I've worked forever and gone to a job, and right now I'm working from home, and so I made little note cards, and I wrote a note to each of the elderly neighbors, and I delivered it during my lunch break when I was watching my dog, and they just said, you know, if you need anything, if you want me to pick up a loaf of bread or gallon of milk at the store for you, I'm here, and this is my phone number. You know, call or text or whatever, but just let me know who you are, because I don't even have your number. You know, we go through life so busy, you don't get to know your neighbors anymore. So, and I had one lady that, I mean, before I even logged out that day from work, she was already on my phone thanking me for that. And at the same time, she's telling me, just little bits of information that you're sitting there taking notes saying, okay, so she can't have sugar. So I already know Barbara can't have sugar. So I'm like, take notes. Why is that? So things that, will be talking points later, and people will remember that. And they're like, well, how do you stay so healthy? What do you do? They'll ask questions. I'm like, well, I'm so excited. I haven't even had a cold and, the common cold in over 2 years. Why? Because of the supplements I take.
Yeah.
So just share that information. Yes, Joanne, yay.
Do you know if the grandma code is recorded?
I do not know. I need to find out more about the grandma code.
I listened to it tonight. It is so awesome.
It's not, and it's something that you have to register every week for, and you have to have your guests register every week for, which is kind of a shame because it's a lot of steps. It's awesome. The information is awesome, but to get them to register and you have to go to the website and everything, but they're saying that their
conversion rate.
The tracking
exactly,
of it, yeah.
there you go.
It's awesome.
Thank you, Rob. Their conversion rate is very, very high. So I would highly recommend getting people on it for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
I had somebody tonight put on it, but she couldn't watch it. So she said, is it recorded so I could watch it, the rest of it?
But I didn't know, I thought it was Monday or Tuesday.
It's Monday.
It's Monday and Thursday now.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I didn't know it was on Thursday now.
Yeah.
Good to
Okay.
know.
Yeah, very good information. Yeah, we were talking about
Joanne,
that.
is 8 o'clock Monday?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you can now register for 2 nights. Like I've already registered for Monday night. When I registered for tonight, you can do 2.
Okay, and so where did you go to figure out how to register for that?
thegrandmacode.com all together. If you put a space, you're going to get some other stuff. So it is important to tag it all along.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. My screen just did something weird, but you aren't watching my screen, are you?
No.
No.
Oh, good, because you get a whole lot of information you don't want. I don't know what happened. Anyways. All right, guys. Anything else? I'm done. Did y'all get to hear everything?
That was great, Kate. Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks again for all the clarification, guys.
No problem.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thanks. I'll put the slides out there, and then I'll also have the recording out there as well too, Brian. So, and always feel free to reach out to any of us with any questions. You can reach out to me with any questions that you have. All right.
Understood.
Done.
Perfect. Great. Thanks. Y'all been a
Good job,
wonderful audience
Kathy. Good
tonight.
job.
Good job, Kathy.
Well done.
All right. Y'all have a great evening.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night. Take care.
Take care now.
Good night, all.
Good night. See y'all later.